Crude oil. Can you believe it actually went negative earlier this year? That was just weird. In any case, I'm going to show you a great setup on crude, so hang around. Hi, this is Tim from TradingStrategyGuides.com. Today we'll be looking at a trading range on NYMEX light crude oil futures. We'll take a look at that, but first, a few active trades, Tim's trading maxim. We're also going to look at some active dream trades, and so on. Happy Monday. Let's kick this week off. Remember to click the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss any of these great setups. Let's take a look at the active trades. I moved my stop up to 1109.791 on Bitcoin, locking in 257.18. We got a little bit of a sideways action going on here, so I'm going to hold this level until we break out of this action. So I'm not going to move my stop any further from here. Royal Caribbean triggered and pushed down a little bit last week. We're waiting for it to hit the 56.89 first target. Australian dollar Swiss franc closed below the range on Thursday, as we discussed in Friday's video, but again it was on reduced volume, so I got in a half size position right here. I'm short at 64.86-ish, stop loss of 65.63, first target of 64.35. As I mentioned, Tesla closed above our original triangle consolidation on very small volume, so I didn't take that trade. Since the volume and the volatility are continuing to drop, I redrew this thing as an ascending triangle right there with the resistance at 463. So the new plan is we're going to buy a daily candle close above the triangle or above 463 with all the usual rules. If you're not familiar with the usual rules, just hang around a few minutes and I'll be talking about them in today's trade pick. And just some old business to wrap up here. It's been a while since I've looked at this Australian dollar, Canadian dollar, but the pattern, this ascending triangle here, was blown back here in September. I was just kind of hanging out, hoping to get a range out of this, but it just never felt right to me, so I let it go. It looks like we're getting a strong push down below this 93, 96 level, but I'm done with the Australian Canadian for right now. And that's it for the active trades. Let's take a look at today's trade pick. Today we're looking at a trading range on NYMEX light crude oil futures. Just to be sure everybody's with us on this, a trading range is a consolidation with a strong support level like this one at 36.50 and a strong resistance level like this one at 41.50. Price just sort of bangs back and forth between these levels until it eventually explodes out of the range in one direction or the other, and I'll take a break of a trading range in either direction. And as a nice confirmation of the consolidation, we have a decline in volume and volatility right down here. Volatility is the amount of daily movement of the price, and I measure it with the average true range, or ATR, which shows the average length of the last 14 candles. And here's the trade plan. We're going to buy a daily candle close above the range, or above 41.50, or we will sell a daily candle close below the range, or below 36.50. On the breaking candle, to enter a full-size position, we want this volume bar to reach all the way up here to the volume average. If it doesn't quite reach the average, but does reach 75% of the average, I will take a half-size position. You can calculate the percentage by taking this volume number here, dividing it by this volume average, and you should get at least 0.75. If you don't get at least 0.75, I suggest you stand aside on the trade. Your stop loss will be 1.5 times the ATR, and your first target is 1 times the ATR. So let's say this breaks to the upside, and on the day it breaks, just ahead of the close, say 15 minutes before the market close, set up your buy order. Look down here at the ATR, multiply that by 1.5. Measure that distance below for your stop loss. Measure 1 ATR above the entry for your first target. And of course, it's just the opposite if it breaks to the downside. If after entering the trade, you get a close back inside the range, we'll take our loss right then, and we won't wait for it to hit the stop loss. A breakout of the pattern should be explosive and hit our target fairly quickly. If not, and the momentum goes away, we want to shut the trade down without taking a full stop if possible. When the price hits our first target, we'll close half the position for profit and set the stop loss to break even on the remainder. We'll then follow stops as price moves in our direction until the market takes us out. Typically, I do this using two positions. The first position has a stop loss and a take profit and will close automatically when the first target is hit. The second position will only have a stop loss and will be allowed to run. When the first target is hit, move the stop loss to break even on the second position. I will only risk about 2% of my account on each trade. And that's today's setup on crude oil. Remember, my intent here is to tell you how I manage these trades. If you've already got a good trade management plan, use it. You have to understand your own mind to find the best strategies for your trading. And speaking of understanding your own mind, that's my intent for the trading maxims. The maxims help me control my emotional impulses and keep me on the straight and narrow path. A maxim is a general truth, fundamental principle, rule of conduct, or a proverbial saying. The purpose of my maxims is to motivate me to discipline in trading as well as other areas of my life. I suggest you start your own list of maxims, things that you can say to yourself while trading or doing life to make sure you always do the right thing. And feel free to borrow from my list. Today, Tim's trading maxim number 32. There are as many profitable trading styles as there are profitable traders. You'll often hear me say that things that work for me may not work for you, that trading is a very personal thing. I may be willing to take more risk than you are on certain strategies or vice versa, or you may be faster responding to a 1-minute chart than I am. In fact, I've traded 1-minute charts and I don't enjoy it. We all have different interests and different focus abilities. That's why you have to understand your own mind to be a successful trader. And that's why there are as many profitable trading styles as there are profitable traders. Because no one trades exactly the same way as anyone else. In the beginning, we copy other traders, but in time, we pick out the things we like and use them and throw away the stuff we don't care for. Remember our crude oil trade plan for today. We're going to buy a daily candle close above the range or above 41.50, or we'll sell a daily candle close below the range or below 36.50. If the volume is not quite average, go half size as long as it's at least 75% of the average. Your stop loss is 1.5 times the ATR and your first target is 1 times the ATR. You'll find a link in the description to the trade management video below for more details. Don't forget to sign up for my Trading Picks email list to get early notification of these picks. The link is also in the description box. Let's take a look at some dream trades now. We're still waiting for our COSA, Inc., or ACA to hit our next target of 50.19 to move our stop up to 47.91. B2 Gold Corp, or BTG, took a dive Friday, but we're still in the running. Lumentum Holdings, or LTE, is making a bull flag for the last week or so. That should typically break to the upside, so that would be a good thing. And lastly, Camping World Holdings, or CWH, pushed down and closed just above the 50 on Friday. I consider that a good sign. It's a little bit bearish the way it closed right at the dead bottom of the candle. Typically, when price breaks a certain level, like the 50, it will often retest that level and bounce off and proceed in our direction. In fact, There's a strategy at Trading Strategy Guides called the Break Hook and Go, which takes advantage of that fact. And I'm sure that's something we'll be looking at some point in the future. Don't miss the Dream Trades segment on Wednesday's videos. Click the link below to find out more about Dream Trades. Friday of this week, we'll be starting Tim Black's Strategy of the Week. Each week, we'll take a look at one of the strategies from Trading Strategy Guide's huge strategy library. I'll still be doing the trade picks on Monday and the Trading Education Series and Dream Trades on Wednesdays. Do keep coming back to Trading Strategy Guide's YouTube channel every week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. for my new videos. Don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have, and remember, the only stupid question is the unasked one. Also, be sure not to miss the next installment of the Trading Education Series on Wednesday, when we're going to be talking about support and resistance levels. If this video helped you, click the like below, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to be notified of our videos in the future. Have a great week, and I'll see you on Wednesday.